Hi everyone, it's Kate from the Forward Line. I'm back this week to talk all things Sewing Bee. So episode 7, that means we've only got 3 more to go. It feels like suddenly there's a lot less people. Did anyone else think that? So for anyone who didn't see it, 90s week, I will also say there will be spoilers in here. So if you haven't seen the programme, go and watch it. 90s week, which was basically heaven for me as a 90s kid. The music particularly was very nostalgic. I was really enjoying all the kind of pop songs that they were playing. And I thought it was a really fun week. So first challenge was a cargo pant, which I thought was insanely difficult for how long I can't remember quite how long they had, but they barely any of them finished. It was so tight on time for all of them. And yeah, it was quite, I don't know about anyone else, but I found it quite stressful to watch that first challenge. So in terms of patterns, the pattern that we chose was a Style Arc Delta cargo pants. The reason that we picked this one, and the thing that made it different from quite a lot of the other cargo pant patterns, is it has an elasticated waist, which the show had. So construction wise, the reason that we chose this one is because of the elasticated waist. Actually, there weren't a huge amount of options to choose from, and this pattern is perfect. It had the same sort of style pleated pocket on the side of the leg. This version has pockets, which is very handy as well. And there are lots and lots of cargo pant patterns, but if you wanted one closest to the show with the elasticated waist, then this one would work perfectly. It's paper only and it comes in sizes 4 to 30. So yeah, it's a really great pattern. Unfortunately, it's out of stock at the moment, but you could always wait for a notification. Pop your email in and it'll send you when it's back in. So we thought that one worked perfectly. Second challenge, they were given a load of scrap fabric and they had to create an outfit for a 90s icon, which I thought was actually a really hard challenge, but actually I think they all did really well, and actually everything that was made was pretty wearable, you know, within the 90s kind of framework. So I thought that was quite a fun challenge. I really enjoyed watching that one. And then the last one, the technical challenge, which was they all had to make a dress for Supermodel. For a Supermodel. And with it obviously 90s theme. It was really interesting watching what everyone made, and I'm gonna get cracking. So first person we've got is Tony. He made I was surprised actually that he got through, because I thought it was, although it was beautiful, it was really nicely executed. It was quite simple. His was a jersey dress with this asymmetric seam that ran from the shoulder all the way down to the tip, and he had it in 2 different colours, so sort of beige, like a kind of dark beige, and a black, and he made it in a neoprene. I have to say, as Patrick said, getting that seam crisp and perfect down the centre front was essential, and he absolutely nailed that. If you really like the shape of that pattern, we thought the McCools 7999 would be a really good option. It's quite a simple, it's a classic jersey shape. It had a high neckline option as well if you wanted to. It's got a slit up the side, and it's quite a kind of, if you're looking for something quite form-fitting and made out of jersey, then this is a really great pattern to have a look at. So I thought that one was pretty close to his. Next up we had Vicky. Now Vicky's popped up on the screen, so I know this one is correct. It's the Rose Cafe bustier dress. It's a PDF. She's definitely changed it. So her dress was made out of red satin, and it was, I don't think they gave her enough credit. I thought it was so difficult what she'd done. So it had beautiful boning on it, and she put the boning on the outside of the dress so that you could really see it. It has a proper bra cup. And then the skirt was kind of quite big and voluminous. So you can see from the Rose Cafe dress, I think she just used the top half of that and then added a big skirt herself. But I thought this was so working with that fabric in that high pressured environment. It was like a satin, doing boning on top, I mean, and making it look perfect. I thought it was absolutely incredible. I think she did such a good job. I mean, just, yeah, it was so impressive. So then we had Mia. She made, which hers actually I really loved. So it was based on that iconic Versace dress that Liz Hurley wore when she was going out with Hugh Grant, and she came to that party, and it had all the safety pins down the side. And she made this beautiful black fitted dress with straps that were made out of chain, and then it had a slit up the side, which she kind of put chain down the slit as well. The pattern that she used, again, this one popped up, so we know that it is correct. It's a pattern from Etsy, and it's a bustier dress with cups. That's the title of the pattern. I'll pop names and everything down below so you can go and find it. I thought it was a really clever choice of pattern because you can see from the line drawing all the seams, which means that you can fit on the model and take bits in and get the kind of fit perfect in quite an easy, not easy, but easier way. So I thought personally that was a really clever choice of pattern, and I liked the kind of finished thing. She'd made it in a kind of black velvet, which again, really hard fabric to work with. So then we had Lizzy, who made this beautiful gold shimmery kind of satin kind of slip dress. And yeah, she had, I felt like she had a rough week. And she'd been so good in all the others. I was really sad that she ended up going. So I've got two patterns because there wasn't anything that was absolutely perfect. The paper cut pattern to Maya cami dress for the front, because I thought that was absolutely perfect with the seam detail underneath the bust. You can see it's that sort of 1940s feel with that kind of shaping underneath the bust with a little bit of gathering. She'd put her gathering almost at the centre front of the dress. So that would be the kind of front. Another option, if you like that sort of style, the back of this felt much similar. The Vicky So's Lucia dress. You can see the reason that I didn't put it in is it doesn't have the seams underneath the bust. It does have darts, obviously, but then it has this really beautiful back with a crossover detail and this sort of V shape at the back, which hers had. So I don't know whether she had amalgamated a couple of patterns, but I thought those two would work really, really well. So next we had Lauren, and she made a really beautiful, looked quite simple, construction-wise a nightmare, bias cut slip dress. So it was in black, really chic, very fine little straps. I'm fairly confident on this pattern that she used the Mason Sicily slip dress. It just looked exactly the same around the neckline. I would imagine this was the pattern that she used. It's such a great pattern if you haven't seen it, and you can make it into a little cami top, or you can have it as a dress. There's lots of different things that you can do with it. So that one is definitely worth. I think that one was right. I'm going to say yeah, confidently, I think that one is right. So last but not least, our trickiest person on the sewing bee, Asma. I'm pretty sure she does her own patterns every single week. I really struggled. So hers was absolutely incredible. It was this beautiful kind of bra cup sort of style, very fitted dress with a kind of fishtail, what's the word? A kind of fishtail shaped bottom. The back was really low cut and had these amazing, like quite big sort of black kind of bondagey straps around the back. I thought what she did was incredible in the time frame. It was beautifully executed. It was amazing. Obviously, I looked for ages. I couldn't find the perfect dress, but if you liked that feel, the Vicky So's Ornella dress had a real kind of nod to that. It had the pleating on the cups, and obviously you can see it's like looks like a proper bra cups. The difference about it is that it had some boning in it, which Asma's didn't, but it still has that kind of slinky feel. It's such a gorgeous pattern. It really, really is. If you are thinking about making something for an occasion, this will make such a lovely wedding dress. I mean, it's gorgeous. So if you haven't had a look at it, do. But I thought that one was a good sort of nod to it. So that is it from us this week. I hope that was helpful and maybe you found something that you were looking for. We will be back next week. It feels like funny as it gets short, like there's less and less patterns to hunt out. So yeah, we'll be back next week with the next instalment. Have a lovely one and I'll see you soon. Bye.